when I look at that game, like as I'm older, I'm like, yo, is that game kind of racist?
Angel Knot.
Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy Young Stein. So today we are going to be watching the video, the 20 weirdest crossovers in video games. It is by Mojo Plays. All right, let's go ahead and check it out.
Take your shot. Yeah, you working it.
Yo, you know what this look like? This look like my kids, they'll be watching like games that have been modded. This definitely looks like a mod.
Welcome to Mojo Plays, and today we're taking a look at 20 totally bizarre crossovers to ever occur in video games. Before we begin, we publish new videos on our latest video.
Chronicle your travels. He will accompany you.
To Square Enix's credit, Kingdom Hearts has been around long enough that it isn't as odd as it initially was. Even so, there are still plenty of outsiders who would be confused as to why Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are hanging out with a bunch of anime-looking characters.
Great! The power's out again! Okay, we know what to do!
The way Sora and his friends are designed just don't.
I never played Kingdom Hearts. I know, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. I've never played Kingdom Hearts. When I first saw it, I had that reaction, right? Like, I was like, why are they with a bunch of Final Fantasy characters? But it might not even be Final Fantasy. I don't even really be knowing my Final Fantasy like that. I ain't gonna hold you. But I sure thought, why are they with a bunch of Final Fantasy characters? Only Final Fantasy I played is Final Fantasy VII.
Don't match up when standing next to cartoon animals. The aesthetic clashes even more harshly in Kingdom Hearts 3, where we started getting into Pixar worlds like Toy Story and Monsters, Inc. So imagine how strange it'll be when Kingdom Hearts 4 inevitably introduces Marvel or Star Wars.
It's true.
Huh? He does? See, they don't seem bad.
NBA Street v3.
Hold on, we running that back. Heck no.
He does? See, they don't seem bad.
NBA Street v3.
Mario got hops.
Apologies for bringing up something so creepy and uncanny this.
Yo, did y'all used to play NBA Street? Man, look, I'm not one to really be into sports games, to be honest, other than like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Oh, but NBA Street, like the first one, yo, that game was dope. That game was super dope.
This early, but we'd rather just push through this one now and get it over with. NBA Street v3 had the greatest honor of featuring Mario, Luigi, and Peach as playable characters in the GameCube version.
Shake tricks!
Having Peach on there, like, that's like more like WNBA, ain't it?
Problem is that they each had the same animations as the NBA players that made up the roster. Basically, none of our Mushroom Kingdom heroes got touched in the slightest during the animation process. In the end, we got the trio moving in ways that simply do not match the way they look.
Yo, they straight get it in, bro. That's crazy.
Oh man, it's sick with it out there.
Metal Gear series.
Oh my gosh.
Metal Gear may have never had a dedicated crossover game with another franchise, but it did cross over with two very peculiar choices. Snake Eater featured a Pippo monkey from the Ape Escape series, and even featured a minigame where Snake...
Did y'all used to play Ape Escape? That game was fun. Low key though, I ain't gonna lie. When I look at that game, like as I'm older, I'm like, yo, is that game kind of racist?
had to capture them. Then you had Peace Walker, which saw Snake hop onto a Trenya from Monster Hunter and head to an island to fight a Rathalos and a Tigrex. And lest we forget about that figurine of Mario and Yoshi that can be found in Twin Snakes, or the Yoshi figurine in Snake Eater 3D.
I just watched another video and it mentioned that. I can't remember which video it was.
Power Rangers Legacy Wars. Legacy Wars was a pretty solid title in how it brought all Rangers.
I never played this game. Let me know in the comments, have you played this game? Who would win, the Power Rangers or Street Fighter? I think it matters if Zords are involved. Because if Zords are involved, then obviously Power Rangers. Although Street Fighter, they do be fighting vehicles. So I don't know. Maybe they've been preparing for this moment.
Rangers from every generation together in one big mobile mashup. So how is this in any way weird? Well, more than a year after the game's launch, guest characters from Street Fighter were thrown in, with Ryu having a role in the last part of the story. A couple months later, Ryu and Chun-Li were given Ranger outfits, while Cammy, my dear, sweet Cammy, was left on the bench with Akuma and M. Bison. We aren't quite sure how this collab started in the first place, but Street Fighter's
I've never even heard of this game.
place in the
And I love Power Rangers.
story of Power Rangers
And Street Fighter.
was quickly accepted by both Hasbro fans and Street Fighter fans. Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Oh, they back balling again. You feel me? You can't keep Princess Peach and Mario and Luigi out or off the court. You cannot, break that team up.
On the surface, Mario Hoops is simply another sport Mario felt the need to break with all the jumping, fireballs, and light amount of gambling on slot machines. It's expected. But then you get to that final tournament, and suddenly you're going up against Final Fantasy characters? We get that Mario Hoops was developed by Square Enix, and the inclusion was probably part of some deal, or both Square and Nintendo thought it'd be just neat to have. Regardless, we're not sure how to feel about a Moogle, White Mage, and Ninja playing basketball with Yoshi, Waluigi, and a Boo. Smite. For years, you could boot up Smite and sort of know what
Is that Invader Zim?
to expect. Everyone chooses their preferred god or goddess, equip their favorite skins, and get to fighting. However, the game has seen some rather absurd crossovers lately.
Optimus? Dude, that's Invader Zim.
Gods and goddesses now have skins that turn them into a variety of characters from other IPs, such as TMNT, Transformers, Stranger Things, and a wealth of Nickelodeon characters. Ever thought you'd see Invader Zim take down the almighty Zeus, or Optimus Prime fighting the powerful Thor?
Yeah, that's just, this one probably looked the most out of place. Well, no, because Mario and them on NBA Street, that looked out of place too.
It's a sight.
I'm gonna go for it.
This was one of those games where the aesthetics and attitudes didn't exactly match up for this crossover to make sense. The Alex Kidd games have a cutesy kind of visual appeal to them. They're simple platformers meant for kids, after all. So yeah, let's just throw this child into the intense and gritty world of Shinobi, where mystical ninjas are slashing each other up, and mercenaries are firing off guns and bazookas in all directions. Not sure if a game of Rochambeau is gonna get Alex Kidd out of this one.
Wait, did it say Shinobi?
Rochambeau and mercenaries are firing off world of Shinobi, where mystical ninjas are slashing each other up,
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious.
and mercenaries are firing off guns and bazookas. TMNT Smash.
TMNT, the Ninja Turtles have had a lot of crossovers just in general. Like even in the comic books, they've crossed over with Street Fighter, Power Rangers, I think Naruto, Batman. Who else? Let me know some Ninja Turtles crossovers in the comments, because I know they've done a lot of crossovers. So them crossing over with anybody, like low key, don't even surprise me. So if this genuinely surprises me, that will surprise me.
Mashup was, on the surface, a great crossover between all of the heroes and villains of the franchise. Well, almost all of them. You had the Turtles and Splinter, of course, alongside Shredder, Fugitoid, April, Casey Jones, and even the Night Watcher. But things got a bit off when you unlocked the Rabbids.
What? Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, I wasn't surprised or whatever. The Rabbids, they've had some crossovers too. Why the Ninja Turtles? Why? That's dumb. Who thought about that? That had to be for the bag. For real. That had to be for the money. Let me ask. Hold on. Let's get a professional's opinion on this. I'm going to interview somebody right now. Leonardo, why on earth would you fight the Rabbids? I don't know. It wasn't my decision. It was Mikey's. It was Michelangelo's decision. Do you think that I would have fought the Rabbids? Come on now. I'm Leonardo. So there you have it, folks. It was Michelangelo's idea.
Yes, the Rabbids are in this game, and there are 3 of them that you can unlock. Ninja Rabbid, Turtle Rabbid, and Splinter Rabbid.
And the 4th one, Stupid Rabbid.
The Manic Buns were popping up in some unexpected places, and honestly, this was where they were starting to annoy some folks. We love them now because of Mario plus Rabbids, but back then, people weren't too thrilled.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie though. The Rabbids games, well, I've only played one Rabbids game, and it is fun. It's the one where the Rabbids, they're trying to collect a bunch of trash so that they can basically build a ladder to the moon. It's on the Wii. Me and my daughter play that sometimes.
You should go home and train.
Sonic and All-Stars Racing.
That's what Chun-Li say on Street Fighter 6. She's like, you need more training. Shut up, Chun-Li.
Transformed. It was confusing to see Sega drop their own name from the sequel to Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Then we saw all of those guest characters. Danica Patrick, the Mii and Xbox avatar, Wreck-It Ralph, the Heavy, Pyro, and Spy from Team Fortress 2?
Yo, I have an arcade machine, and it lets you play Fix-It Felix. You know, the game from Wreck-It Ralph that they came from. That game is heck of fun.
Yeah, at some point, the game became a little less Sega and a little more everyone. Thankfully, this was the better game of the two with its tighter controls, refined visuals, and unique level design. We only wish it got more support than just throwing in Metal Sonic and calling it quits there. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Back when MK vs. DC was first announced, we all asked the same thing. How on earth are you going to blend the ultra-violence of Mortal Kombat with the widely beloved by children DC Comics heroes and villains?
I mean, DC gets pretty violent too, though. Right? They get a lot darker than Marvel does at times. So I could kind of see how that one made sense.
The result was a T for teen rating, and it did not sit well with audiences on either side.
Yeah, you can't make a Mortal Kombat game T for teen. That don't even make sense. I don't even play Mortal Kombat no more, but T for teen for Mortal Kombat, like, come on now. We're gonna skip past because Liu Kang gonna get me demonetized, you know what I mean?
Or so in the inclusion of finishing moves. Nothing felt satisfying. Point NetherRealm Studios in the direction of the MK reboots.
I'm gonna skip this one because, like I said, this one kind of makes sense to me.
Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I mean, Smash Brothers is known for throwing a bunch of characters you would never expect to see. Ryu and Ken and Sonic and Mario and Kirby, Donkey Kong, Final Fantasy, whatever. All of these characters you would never expect to see, I would expect to see them together in Super Smash Bros. Even Rabbids, if they made an appearance. Ninja Turtles. Freaking Super Smash Brothers just got everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we're not about to dunk on Smash Brothers, but we gotta be honest and say that Ultimate, specifically, is one of the weirdest games to ever exist. Not only do you have games from Nintendo's storied history of video games represented here, but
I was kind of, when I first saw Snake from Metal Gear Solid on Smash Bros, I was kind of like, well, that's interesting. But then I was like, oh, it's Smash Bros.
a ton of guest characters made their way here as well. Even if it has been your 20th or 100th time playing as Banjo and Kazooie and beating up Cloud Strife in the world of Minecraft, you can't help but be amazed at what was accomplished here. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate truly is a celebration of video games. It's impossible to see it through any other lens.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, Smash Bros makes sense to me, so I'm skipping.
And I'll get my
Lego makes sense to me. I don't really understand some of this weirdest crossover stuff. Legos has worked with every franchise to freaking exist, it seems like. So bringing all them together in the world, I mean, they have so many properties that they work with. Like, my bad. Let me see what they're even going to say.
wrench.
When looking at it in a legal sense, LEGO Dimensions isn't as weird compared to the other entries here. Many of the IPs represented here are from Warner Brothers' own catalog like DC Comics, Harry Potter, Scooby-Doo, and more. But we did get expansions from outside the corporation. The Simpsons, Sonic the Hedgehog, Portal, Ghostbusters, and even
Yo, you know what's the best crossover of all time? Not a video game, but just in general. You ready? You ready? Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
If you know, you know.
Back to the Future had prominent roles in the game's story and free roam.
I believe the rift is becoming unstable. Should we take our leave through it?
Where do you think this one leads?
Heck, we even almost got a third year of expansions that would have added DreamWorks franchises in, like Shrek. LEGO Dimensions was a real treat for the few of us that got to play it. Truly.
Put some pants on, Homer.
Dead by Daylight. We understand that Dead by Daylight was not intended to be as much of a crossover game as it is today, but ever since Michael Myers was added in, we've seen the door kicked off of its hinges. Now we've got Freddy Krueger, Saw, Resident Evil, Ash from Evil Dead, The Ring, and even Ripley and the Z.
I haven't played this game. A family member told me that it's super dope. Let me know what you think.
More from Alien.
But I was under the impression that that was kind of the whole premise of the game, is that it's all these different horror characters and they're all together. Like, that's how it was introduced to me. So for them to say it's like weird, it's kind of like, I thought that's what the game essentially is supposed to be. Yo, they trying to fast forward.
The game after being delisted for 2 whole years. And that's what makes Dead by Daylight the ultimate love letter to horror movies, TV, and video games. We know some folks are begging for Five Nights at Freddy's to make its entrance, but we already got the best bear in gaming. It's naughty time! Now when you look at
Parappa the Rapper, kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find something. Now kick, and punch.
at half of the roster, PlayStation All-Stars makes total sense. You know, Sweet Tooth fighting Kratos while Nariko and Fat Princess take on Spike.
Man, everybody just took that Super Smash Bros. Platformer format and ran with it.
From Ape Escape and Parappa the Rapper. It's when you look at the third-party stuff where things get weird.
Check out this new comic book.
Wow, Joe Chan is such a great hero.
Heihachi makes some sense with Tekken being on PlayStation for the early years, sure. And you can sort of make a case for Dante, but the Big Daddy from BioShock? Isaac Clarke from Dead Space? Raiden from Metal Gear Rising? And why is Cole split into 2 separate characters? Strange choices made for this title, for sure.
Never heard of this game.
Fortune Street series.
You know what's a crazy crossover? Even though it's not real, is not a real one. But Doom Guy and that whole, hold on, let me find it. Hold on. This is a crazy crossover. Let me show you. Doom Guy and Animal Crossing. Whatever. I hate Animal Crossing. Whatever this Animal Crossing character's name is, I know there's like a whole like fan lore about these two being friends. That's a crossover we want to see, right, guys?
So we could totally see a game where Mario, Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy get smushed together. After all, Nintendo and Square Enix have done several collaborations throughout their history. But why make the mashup a convoluted game of Monopoly?
Alright, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. If you want to see the rest, you know, feel free to definitely go show Mojo Plays some love. But yeah, let me know what you think is the dopest crossover. Let me know what you think is the weirdest crossover on this list or in general. Also, let me know what are some of the crossovers that Ninja Turtles were part of that I didn't name, because they're in quite a few, because everybody loved the Turtles, right? So, oh yeah, I forgot some of the most epic crossovers. Turtles and Pizza Hut, you feel me? Turtles and Domino's, you know what I'm saying? That's for real. So I appreciate you guys. Love you. God bless. Please make sure that you like and subscribe, okay? If you got a friend you think that they might like the videos, please share it with them. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs, you know what I'm saying? Also, if you subscribe, in the post, you can see how to win a Trim UI brick. So appreciate you all. God bless and salutations to the nations.
Big bad geek.
Peace.
Angel Nine.